Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of Old Try Hard Game with me, RollCageTV, where they say, oh, he does the best he can with what he's got, which I admit is not a lot of talent, but it is a whole lot of apologies for chat. Those of you on YouTube, you always get continuity. Those of you on Twitch, you sometimes end up getting longer breaks than usual. So stop that, close that. Oh well. I am ready to do the actual race, the Grand Prix of Spain. So let's get that started, shall we? Go to Grand Prix, yes please. And as usual, it switches it out of the short weekend, which is what I want. Ugh. I hate that it does that every time. It should remember, throughout my career, I've been doing short weekends. Why can't it just use the last option? I call out to the developers of this game. I don't know who you are. This isn't 2K, and it isn't EA. I don't know who the publisher is. I can't remember. It's like complicated, because they were bought out by a holding company. It says in the description of the YouTube, because I have all the proper acknowledgments of what the game is and et cetera, et cetera. Hold on a second. All right, had to sneeze and whatnot, and actually, unlike in last episode, I got the mute button hit properly. This has been kind of a scuff. It's raining. This has been kind of a scuff, scuff Twitch session, as you may or may not know. Yeah, I'm ready.
The team has just finished preparing the
as you may or may not know, well, you would know if you looked at the thumbnail at all. This is a replay. All the YouTube episodes are from a stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/RollCageRunaboutTV. And, wait, what? I thought this was the race. Oh no, it's a brand new week. That's right, I just did the race. This is official practice. Oh boy, I gotta get my act together. Pay attention here. Oh, I shorted the Q2. That's why it was so... I even messed up last episode. No wonder it was so short. I was in Q1. I thought I was in free practice. If I'm in the qualifiers, I play the whole thing out. Free practice is too long though. And I actually shorted. No, what are you doing? Oh, for goodness sakes. Don't follow the colors of the racing line. They lie. You have to start braking like right at the start line. Maybe it's because it's raining. They certainly don't change the colors when it's raining, but they have an issue with the colors of the racing line. And yes, I'm playing with the racing line because I'm not that good, which is why I'm also playing the arcade version. Anyway, I was talking about my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/RollCageRunaboutTV. There's links everywhere on the homepage, on YouTube. There's links in the description of every YouTube video, so you have no excuse to find it. And I stream MotoGP 25, trademark symbol. MotoGP, trademark symbol 25. Most Saturdays, starting at noon U.S. Central Time, which is 6 p.m. in the UK. Actually, not noon. No, sorry, half past noon. Is 6:30 in the UK and most of the year. Depends on daylight savings, all that other good stuff. Your times may vary. If you're checking U.S. Central Time, the easiest way to say time in Iowa, because it's only 3 4 letters long, which is a lot shorter than Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, which is where I live. It's although I say Iowa, and I realize that Iowa may not be easy to pronounce, but or not easy to spell, just from hearing the pronunciation. It's Iowa. I'll just say Iowa instead of Iowa, because then I don't have to actually speak the name of my bordering town, bordering state that there may or may not be some rivalry to. It's interesting in the U.S. that states that are adjacent to each other always seem to be like rivals. The states in the U.S. are kind of like their own separate autonomous units. They're not quite like countries. They're almost like territories of some sort. I don't know what you might call it. Like an overseas territory that Great Britain has, but they're not overseas. Where the states have their own budget, and they have their own constitutions, and they have their own laws, and their own, parliaments, their own congresses. Except they also get federal funds, and they get military support and that sort of thing federally. The original Constitution, which were the Articles of Confederacy, I think. Oh boy, my American history teacher would hate me. The original Constitution, that was only around for a few years, gave even more independence to each state. They were essentially separate countries. And that didn't work out very well. They all had their separate militias and things, and that didn't work out very well. So they created the new Constitution, and you may or may not have heard of the Federalist Papers. The Federalist Papers were issued to try to encourage the various states to vote for the new Constitution, and they had to vote by a supermajority. I don't remember exactly what the percentage was, but it was quite a few years after the Revolutionary War ended that they actually created the federal Constitution, and the states still got powers. In the Constitution, it says specifically that any powers not specifically here in the Constitution or would be given to the states. I think that's Article 10 of the the Articles of the Constitution. It's the 10th Amendment to the Constitution, which the Constitution did not come with a Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights were crafted after the Constitution. And those also, there's a process to amend the U.S. Constitution, which is not easy to do. It's harder to do than in most other countries, most other parliamentary countries. And that's actually a very good thing, because that means like no one person who has a majority in the, no one party or one strong man can suddenly change the Constitution to say, okay, I'm amending the Constitution to say we're a dictatorship now. The Constitution prevents that. Our Constitution prevents that. It is very difficult to amend the Constitution, but the first 10 amendments, which you call the Bill of Rights, were presented shortly after the Constitution was signed. And some people complain that there wasn't a Bill of Rights in the Constitution itself, but the founders and the powers that be that wanted to get the Constitution going, the Federalists, that wanted to, and I'm too fast again out of here, am I not? Yes, I am. Oh, for goodness sakes. Oh, I'm not supposed to do that unless I fall over. I was destined to fall over because I got in the sand again. I only rewind if I fall over. That's what I said, but this is a mess. All right, I go to 25. I only do 10 minutes up front and then 10 minutes at the end because 35 minutes is an awful long free practice. I would never get in more than the free practice during a particular YouTube episode. And I try to do at least 2 things during the YouTube episode. There's up to 4 races that or trips around the track that I do in a YouTube segment. And the 4 for a weekend would be official qualifying, Q1 and Q2. Now, usually, and the race. Yep, yeah, I can count to 4, trust me. Yeah, usually there's only 3 out of those 4, because if I make it into Q2 right after the official practice, I'm gonna have to do Q1. And if I do Q1, I'm probably not going to make it into Q2. If I'm bad enough that I don't get in the top 14 in official practice, I'm probably bad enough that I'm not going to get in the top 4 in the first qualifier, which I call the pre-qualifier, but and then Q2 is the actual qualifier for the race. But yeah, it's kind of the how the qualifiers work in MotoGP is kind of weird. It makes the weekend a little bit longer and more exciting, I guess, for the fans. There's a second chance qualifier. Q1 is like a second chance qualifier. If you don't make it into the main qualifier, which they call Q2, then you have a second chance qualifier, and the top 4 people, the top 14 get a bye into the main qualifier. The top 4 in Q1, which is, think of it as the second chance qualifier, then they get into the main qualifier. So usually, traditionally, I'll say, I don't know how it is anymore, but traditionally, there were free practices, but then there was a I don't know what you would call it. Not everyone would be invited to the qualifier, but not everyone would be invited to the race at all, of course. But you had to qualify for the qualifier. But there was one less qualifier, as I'm saying. But if you made it into the qualifier, you were going to be in the. No, that's not true. If you made it into the qualifier, you had to get in the top 24, or whatever it is, or 33, or whatever it is, in whatever race, and then your position would be where you fit into the. Into the actual race. I don't remember. I used to follow motorsports. I don't know anymore, and everybody does it differently. Everybody did it differently, every tour. But yeah, the idea of having an official practice and free practices and a qualifier and a second chance qualifier is pretty weird to me, but because in effect there's 3 qualifiers. You have to I guess there's an official practice which determines whether you qualify for the qualifier or the second chance qualifier, then which seeds you into the qualifier, and then you have a qualifier. And then you have the race. There's always been a qualifier to determine your position within the race, but tying the qualifier to both a practice session and a second chance to get into the qualifier is, anyway, kind of weird. Kind of weird if you ask me. But it makes for a longer game, makes for a longer YouTube series. So that's a good thing, right? Oh, a reminder, to anyone watching live on Twitch or watching on YouTube and wondering why I'm not responding to the comments, I cannot see the comments while I am racing because, not that I just don't look at them, but they're down at my side on a tablet. And while I'm racing, if I glance over at my side, I will not notice if there's a comment. I have bots that run that put up comments all the time, and seeing if there's an actual person typing a comment, I can't tell while I'm racing, and I certainly wouldn't be able to see what they say to respond to it. So some people have, I play on Xbox directly to stream. Some people, they have multiple streams and multiple monitors, and they can pipe the output, the comment output to a separate stream or whatever. That's not my setup. I'm doing this as a retirement project. I'm an old retired guy, and I am. That's it. I do what I do the best I can with what I've got, and what I've got is an Xbox controller. Xbox comes with a controller. Of course, I bought a better controller. 2 phones and 2 tablets. The tablets are on split screens. So I have 4 apps running on tablets and an app each running on a phone. Now the apps on the phones are, one's just a timer, so I know how long the stream's been going, which I could theoretically have on my tablet monitor, but no, it tells me I couldn't do that. It tells me how long it's been since I started the YouTube segment, the action. And then the other phone just has my mute switch. And I'm going to call this 25 minutes. I'm going to make it past to the finish line before 25 seconds, but I'll call it here as the last lap. Oh, right at 25. Okay. Oh, wrong button. Oh no, wrong button. Ah, doesn't matter. I'm going back to the. Is that what I use? Yeah, that's what I use. No, maybe is that what I use? I don't know what camera I used. I accidentally hit the camera button. I think that's what I use normally. Yeah, okay. Well, so much for saving time. Yeah. Now what we can do is fast forward the session. Get it down to under 10 minutes. It took longer than I would have liked. Yeah, X15, it lags a little bit. I can get it up to X30, but then it lags a lot. Anyway, well, I was rolling back to saying something about qualifiers, and there was something I was saying before that I have totally lost track of, so sorry. Probably something about Twitch. Anyway, yes, I can't see Twitch comments while I'm racing, so I apologize. I have to try to catch up at times like this when I can look over at my tablet. I have the tablet right at my side, propped up with a pillow, but I'm sitting on a couch with the tablet propped up with a pillow, and it's by my side, so I can't really see it. Okay, I am under 10 minutes. Let's go to the track. No, not settings. Often in these free practice sessions, over the first 10 minutes, I'm doing great. I'm within the time. In fact, right. Oh, I'm still number 1. Wow. Usually I like near the top after the first 10 minutes, and then once I get down to the last 10 minutes, my position has dropped to nearly the bottom because the AI gets better and better every lap. Supposedly the track gets faster and faster every lap. Although maybe that's different in the rain, which would be true. the laps would not get faster and faster in the rain, because the reason they get faster is because the rubber gets laid in, and I think the rain somewhat changes that. But I don't think the AI really cares. I think the AI just makes sure every lap of theirs gets faster than the lap before. I don't know how sophisticated a simulation this is in that regard. But of course, as a human, I'm not going to have a faster lap every turn than my previous lap. I'm going to get my peak lap probably earliest on, and then I'm going to be, if I make any faster lap, it'll be just marginal improvement. So I often see my number one place after the first 10 minutes drop down to out of Q2, out of the top 14 in my second qualifier. But I don't know, maybe in this rain I'm doing better than my competition, even though I've certainly had worse laps. My best lap has been better than their best laps so far. So we'll see. I can't see while I'm driving. It's hard to see. 2.5 seconds, okay. What my lead is. But 2.5 seconds isn't bad. I have a good chance of holding on, even if I don't get a better lap than that. At least holding on to the top, if not the top position, the top 14. So I'll be in Q2 directly. Yeah, this is not going to be my fastest lap of all. I do have, I am playing on arcade mode, and arcade mode means the bike is easier to handle. Unfortunately, in arcade mode, I cannot include certain things. Like, rather than having the arcade experience, I wish they just gave you the ability to change the individual settings. Because in the simulation mode, you have to worry about fuel consumption, and you have to worry about fuel consumption and tire changes and other things like that, bike setup, which I would like to do. The only reason I'm in arcade mode is, well, for one, it's more relaxing to me, and if I played with a simulation mode, I couldn't handle a bike. I tried, and it was impossible for me, even on the easiest skill level. But if you could say, okay, I want to use the arcade mode physics and arcade mode AI difficulties, but I still want to be able to do, say, tire wear, or I still want to be able to worry about, say, fuel consumption and pit stops, then that would, I think, be, that is the version that I would find the most fun. But they try to make it simple. They said, okay, arcade mode, if you could play sim mode, but or the alternative is the main mode, rather than being a full sim mode, the main mode defaults to the full sim mode, but you could change the difficulty level, and maybe you can still set it to adaptive, and it would still go down as low as you need. But you could turn off each individual thing you wanted to turn off. Like, you could turn off the fuel consumption, and you could turn off the tire wear, and you can. However, you can't turn off the physics. You can't change the physics engine, so you're still stuck with the physics, the simulation physics engine, and you're stuck with harder AI. So, yeah. If I could play career mode, if I could play simulation mode, but with the more casual bike handling, more casual physics, and the more forgiving. What I'm saying is, in career mode, add an option to use some of the more of the arcade mode features. turn on or off those arcade mode features, all of them. So arcade mode means you don't have to think about it. All the easier features are turned on, and I still broke too late. All of the features that make the game easier are able to be turned on and off, rather than the limited number that you have now. But it's a full of fun playthrough. I'm doing a full career, starting from Moto3, going into Moto2. Once I win a Moto3 championship, going into MotoGP, the main class. Once I win a Moto3 trademark symbol championship, Moto2 trademark symbol championship, then I can go into MotoGP trademark symbol. And then once I get to MotoGP trademark symbol, I will get to play. I will play that, stay in that class until I win not just an individual championship, but also a team championship. And we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if I'm going to win a Moto3 championship this season. It's been kind of rough on me so far. But based on the fact that, at least in the rain here, I seem to be nailing this. Free practice. I think I'll be okay. And this will end once I come around to the finish line. We'll see if I drop out of first, but I won't drop. On the last lap here, I'm not going to drop. I think the last lap does count. Even after 0-0 in qualify. I don't know how it is in real life. What I'm used to in racing is the last lap. Once it goes to 0, you go and pit. You don't get to a time after the last lap. You got to finish your last lap before it goes 0-0. Then the last after that. Once it goes 0-0, you can't cross the finish line. You have to pit. But I don't know. All right, I finished first by almost 2 seconds, which is awesome and unexpected. So I'm right into Q2, which means this week we'll only have 3 times on the track, which is very good because it'll get me through the career faster. I don't know how many episodes there were of the initial career, but it was a lot. And like I say in the description, I'm hoping to get through this game. Yay. I'm hoping to finish this game up before I buy the next one, which will be MotoGP 20, trademark symbol 30, because I only buy these yearly titles every 5 years. That's my way of protesting the fact that some of these publishers try to sell you a brand new game every year. And I don't know how 2K does it, but I know EA is terrible. Yeah, let's go to the track right away. What do I care? Some of these publishers try to they try to oh yeah, it's supposed to only go 10 minutes then 5 minutes. Anyway, whatever. I kind of messed that up. Some of these publishers try to and see, I lost my train of thought. Some of these publishers like extort you into buying the version every year because they discontinue the previous year's version. You can't buy it. They'll still support it. They won't update it. They'll still support it in terms of like you will still be able to play it, but you may not be able to play it online, and you won't be able to buy it. So if you wanna collect every F1 game, which predates EA, but before EA you could buy older F1 games up to a period. But since EA bought out Codemasters, and it's the same with Madden, football, and whatever. I think 2K might do the same thing, but I don't know that for sure. But if you want to buy FIFA or Madden football and now Dirt, the EA WRC game. Well, no, EA WRC is different. But if you want to buy Madden Football or FIFA, which are EA titles, or F1 now, which is EA title, you have to buy it like that year. If you don't buy it within a few months of the next version coming out, you don't get to buy it at all. And so if you want to get every year, you can't wait. You can't miss a year. You got to plop down your $100 every year for Madden Football. And yes, it is $100 for Madden Football if you get all the DLC that comes with it. Which, if you want to collect every year, you're probably going to want all the DLC. $100 a year for essentially the same video game year to year. The changes they make to the actual game are minuscule from year to year. The main thing they change is the teams and the players. You know, they give you the new data for the teams. But you know, I don't know for sure, but in some titles you can't play the old teams. You can only play the current teams. You can't go back to a previous year's roster. But then that I don't know for sure. Maybe you can. I think some games you can, some games you can't. So you have to play the previous year's game if you want to play those racetracks, let's say, or those stadiums. So yeah, I think F1 was better about that, but I don't know now that EA owns them. But they did take bikes away, so I don't know if they took tracks away. Because every year they have to renew the license to vehicles, not just bikes, but cars. Every year they have to renew their contracts to the racetracks and the vehicles. So, yeah, they can't have a Ford or a Chevy in the game, or a Honda versus a Yamaha in the game, unless they get a contract with that game. Now, the stadiums are different. For games that actually follow the license for the sport, they don't have to get individual contracts, I don't think, with each location. I think that's negotiated on the level of the tour itself. But once that location is no longer on the tour, I don't know how the license works. And for some series, it might be that the manufacturers have a contract with the tour that allows the tour to determine who is the official simulator racing game for that thing. So I'm sure all contracts are different, and they can be different from year to year. I know there was a lot of complaining with both the latest Gran Turismo 7, and the latest Forza Motorsports, which would have been Motorsports 8, but they just released it as Forza Motorsports. Because they didn't have all the same vehicles they had in the previous year, because they didn't get contracts with the vehicle manufacturers. Now, in those games, there's no tour to get a license for. In those games, you have to get licenses from the locations individually, and you have to get licenses from the vehicle manufacturers individually. And they didn't pursue, or they didn't want to pay what the manufacturers are asking, or the manufacturers didn't want to pursue. Like Porsche for years, you couldn't get a license from Porsche for any other video game except from a video game that was from one company that actually didn't publish the game except once, and you know, arguably didn't fulfill their end of the contract, but they had the license until the end of the 5-year contract that it was, and you know, it was Porsche got nothing out of it as far as exposure. Sorry, buddy. Oh, one reason I was starting down this conversation, I remember, was to mention that if you see me go off track, I don't get automatically penalized for that. I have one thing you can change in the arcade experience is the tolerance of the marshals, the race officials, and they'll just give me a warning unless it's super egregious. They'll just give me a warning to say that I've gone off track. I'm in 12. There's only 14 drivers. So no, wait, I'm in 18. Oh, that's right. It is the top 18 that get into Q2. I thought it was 14 that got into Q. No, it is 18. 14 get a bye into Q2, and then another 4 in the top 4 of Q1, the pre-qualifier, that get in. So there are 18 in Q2, but there's 26 total. So that means the top 8 in free practice, or the 8 in free practice, or the 8 in official practice, still get to play in the race. Everybody invited gets to play in the race, but they get seated behind the people that were got buys to Q2 and had to go through Q1 as the top 4. Everybody gets to play. That's how the video game works. So even if you didn't make it into the pre-qualifier at all, even if you finished last in the pre-qualifier, you still get to play in the race. You're just placed, I think, depending on your official practice time, behind the top 18. So in the qualifier, only the top 18 are fighting for a position on the official race. And right now, even though I finished first in the official practice, in the official qualifier, the final qualifier, I'm finishing last. And you know what's changed? The weather condition. I think that's really the difference. I think the weather has slowed down the rest of the field more than they slowed me down. But yes, I get just a warning if I do something, unless it's really egregious. I'm not even sure what really egregious would be. I can cut the course like that, or worse, I can pass while I'm off the course, and I'll just get a warning. But once I get to 5 warnings, then I will have to take the long lap, which means there's a certain corner that I have to go really wide on. And if I still do something after that, then I'll get a 3-second penalty, which, you know what? The long lap probably takes me more than 3 seconds, so I'll usually ignore the long lap and then just take the 3-second penalty. I mean, it takes me more than 3 seconds than it would take me to take the normal lap. Obviously, it takes longer than 3 seconds to take a long lap, but the corner takes, you know, a certain amount of time. And the way I have so little control of the bike that taking the long lap, which you have to go at a certain speed and you have to go through a certain course. Yeah, that's going to take me longer than 3 seconds. That will take me more than the 3 second longer it would take me. That would take me longer by more than 3 seconds than if I didn't take the long lap and just took the main course. You know what I was trying to say several times? Maybe. My roommate's tell me that I don't explain things well. And I think as I've gotten older, that's more and more the case. Primarily because I can't think of the right word for things. Yeah, my brain is going. Anyone watching me for a period of time will recognize that, oh, my voice, he doesn't sound like he's an old retired guy. Yet my language skills sound, my brain is definitely a brain from an older person. I can't think of the right words all the time. Back in my younger days, I was a trainer. I trained. I was always in the software industry, but one of the jobs I had was training people on the software. And yeah, so I did a lot of training. I did a lot of teaching and communicating, and clearly communicating as a senior developer and lead programmer. I had to communicate things clearly to people. And, you know, I kept getting promotions because I did a good job of those things. But, you know, that's all in my past now. If I was still in the same position that I was in when I left the software industry, yeah, I would not be able to do that job. I would be like the older guy, the middle-aged guy in the movie Office Space. You remember the movie Office Space? He reflected what's called the Peter Principle, which I hate that whole concept, but yeah, he was let go by the if you don't know Office Space, you got to watch it. Even if you never worked in an office, you have to watch it. If you have ever worked in an office, in a cubicle, you definitely have to watch it. And you probably already have watched it. It's an older movie. So yeah, that guy basically did nothing. All he did was, he was in a senior position, and all he did was take documents from one group over to another group. He didn't even, like, he took the document, and I think he summarized it as he walked to the other group. But, you know, he physically moved. And it was like, well, why can't the group that did it just take the documents over and explain it to the other group? And so, anyway, yeah, that would be me. I would be senior in name only. I would be writing, I don't know what I would be writing. I would still be in training, and no one would know what I was talking about as I got older. Anyway. All right. We will continue. Now I'm in the race, and it's about time to take a break. But I can't take a break unless I continue. And I go to the race, and I say start race. Oh, no, now I can say exit the career mode. You have to go through all the buttons to pretend that you're going to career mode, but then you can actually not go to career mode. And take a few minutes to look around. Nothing else on my wall, but I have to hit it every time I come back here out of practice. I'm still well, my fitness is good, and it's rising. I could customize my driver, but you know, I have as much green on me as I can because green is my favorite color. Current record, 1 championship. That was in Moto2. This is only my second season. I've won 3 races so far, none in Moto2. 16 podium appearances out of 26. That was, you know, only 2 or 3 here. What race is this? It's got to be 4, right? Or no? I don't know what it is. Oh, I can't scroll back far enough to see. Anyway. Oh, I've had 4 races. It shows me right there. So, yeah, 22 races. No. Why would it say 2 out of 26? 16 out of 20. It is 3 out of 26? Huh. I guess there's 22 races. I thought there were 24 in the season. And who likes me, who doesn't like me? Let's start with my team. There. Starting with my team. My teammate is okay with me. And they're both neutral. Red Bull, one of the people like me. I don't know how my reputation is with Red Bull, but I would like to get on Red Bull. Because you see their bikes have orange on it, and orange is a complementary color to green. Let's see, everybody else is neutral. They have blue bikes. I wouldn't want to get on their team, so I'm fine that one of the drivers don't like me. They're neutral. Liquid Molly, that wouldn't look bad with my green outfit. That wouldn't look bad. But they're neutral. Somebody, did I have yellow? Somebody kind of likes me. Not a good color for me. They're neutral. They don't like me. I wouldn't mind getting on their bike, yellow and orange, but no, and black. Neutral, terrible color, neutral, terrible color. And then I'm back here. So the fact that Red Bull, somebody really likes me on Red Bull. Well, no, that's just likes. That's not excellent. Okay. That's good. I can live with that. And my bike is still way out of balance. They are working on controlled fuel delivery. The manufacturer prefers engine power, but you know what? I can tell that's what the manufacturer prefers, because that's like 3 levels ahead of everything else. 3 levels ahead of stability and handling, and 4 levels ahead of controlled fuel delivery. So, no, 3 levels ahead of that and 2 levels ahead of the others. So yeah, I got to get that controlled fuel delivery balanced out, because I want a balanced bike. I think that's what won me the championship last time, a balanced bike. So yeah, I'm not working on the frame. Why does it say frame there? I changed from frame to controlled fuel delivery, so maybe they'll still do something with the frame. But maybe they won't do anything with the frame. Maybe because I changed it, I just have to wait longer for the upgrades. I don't know. And transfer rumors, it's too early in the season for transfer rumors to mean anything. All right, folks, I am coming up on 48 minutes, which is a decent time to take a break. If you're watching on Twitch, this is just my, my second hour. I will be back I'm going to take a break and be back with MotoGP 25. And after that, there's going to be Snow Runner yet today. So it's a long day on Saturday. If you're watching on YouTube, that's the end of this episode. The next episode will be the weekend, Saturday and Sunday at 6 p.m. That's when MotoGP is released on YouTube, which is just almost always midnight in UK and almost never noon the next day in New Zealand, but it is plus or minus an hour, depending on the time of year. Thanks to Daylight Savings Time. Thanks to all of you for watching. Twitch again, stick around. YouTube, next episode. Either way, I will see you then.